billionaire all-in Tesla stock investor Leo has basically now said that Elon has cheated him with his promises. I was going to go and watch Avatar today, but this is just too juicy. You will want to see this one. I mean, lately, Leo's tweets were rather positive about Tesla and Elon. Leo said Elon is irreplaceable, but there's a little bit of a U-turn here. The hero lures and seduces unwary followers. Alive, burned on stake, sacrificed to Siren's promises. And these words, ouch. These hurt. No more terrible disaster could befall your people than for them to fall into the hands of a hero. Now, I can definitely think of much more horrible things, like falling into the hands of a villain. Probably much worse. And Leo has clarified now if he has margin, meaning if Tesla goes down, even not to zero, but let's say just 50% more, would he lose his whole position? Leo says he has no margin, which is actually really good news. We know what Tesla stock does when Elon Musk sells about $4 billion. It goes down about, 8-ish% or so? And Leo probably has a similar amount of Tesla stock. So that alone, if Leo had margin and he was margin called, boo, he would have to sell all of that immediately, and Tesla stock present a big buying opportunity. So this is good news for most Tesla stock investors. There is a tweet. Were you planning on selling? This is asking Leo. Or did you get back into margin again? I am irritated with Elon too, but not sure I understand the hatred. What happened to live or die with Tesla? Long-term holders don't care about share price. Leo says he lost his innocence. He was cheated by Siren's promises. Elon Musk, in other words. So while Leo is not directly saying that Elon cheated him, he's clearly implying that right here. He is 67 years old now, and he does hold a lot of Tesla stock. His horizon for Tesla stock is also at least, I believe, 10 years. It is, however, I do think harder to not get upset about big swings in Tesla stock short term if you are approaching 70. You know, for me, I am going to be 30 years old and relatively soon, but I also have very strong income. So if in a very unlikely case that something absolutely terrible happens, I don't know, free asteroids come and hit the Earth, and they all exactly land on Giga Shanghai, and then on Giga Berlin, and then on Giga Austin, and then somehow one of these, the one that's coming at the US, splits, and then that other part lands on Fremont, and all of the factories are wiped out immediately, and somehow Tesla goes bankrupt, and the stock crashes. I would still be completely fine because of strong income, and I have real estate as well. But I do understand if you have billions of dollars in Tesla stock, which if you lose, and even if there's a very tiny possibility that that happens, I understand why someone would be this upset. And look, when you are a billionaire, I met one billionaire and he's very nice, but there's a line that if you cross, he will stand his ground and he will fight back at you really strongly. Billionaires know how to fight. This right here is good and bad news, I would say. Take a look. Leo says, my message is clear. You are on your own. Listen to yourself. Blind devotion to a hero leads to tragic end. The hero uses you. I was his fanboy. No more. That's the sad part. No margin. That's good news. We already covered that. I raised $500 million to buy additional 3 million shares as planned. That's the good news. So big shout out to Leo for buying more Tesla stock. He's not just talking the talk, but he's actually doing the buying as well. I am dollar cost averaging and I'm buying more Tesla stock as well. And I do have to say that I do see a point that Leo is making here, because if you have so much money in Tesla stock to a point where it's impossible to recover that money, and if therefore it's very difficult to see a buying opportunity as a really big buying opportunity simply because you just can't buy more. Leo does have a point here. For example, Disney fired its CEO just because the price crashed. No fiduciary duty violation, no dumping of its stock, not working full time at another company. Whereas Tesla CEO did Vosens, as Leo, sold about $40 billion of stock to crash the stock. Now, Elon does have a right to do it. Brought 50 software engineers working and sleeping at Twitter. Now, for me, selfishly, I don't care at all what Tesla stock price does because I am buying a lot more. What I do care a lot, and I mean a lot, is what kind of earnings are we going to have 5 years from now, 6 years, 7, 10 years from now? That I care a lot. So if I see something going on with the earnings that we are projecting into the future, and if something is not happening there, and if I saw anything questionable about, let's say, the board of directors, then I would be nitpicking on every single thing as well. And of course, I wouldn't hold the stock in the first place. Or if I still did, then I would voice my opinion. So let's see if Leo does have some insight here. He's talking about compensation of this particular board member. She was paid almost completely in Tesla stock options. She was able to sell her shares for significant gains. Since 2020, she has sold Tesla stock worth $280 million. She is the chair of board of directors and is worth 9 figures, well north of $100 million. Every time Robin gets more Tesla, it appears Robin sells it down to 5,000 shares. Robin is actually incredibly wealthy, and she was actually even a billionaire for a moment. And you may wonder, well, why did the net worth drop down by about half? That's sort of how much Tesla stock dropped as well, hasn't it? Well, look at when this article has been written. So this is when Tesla stock was sort of at the peak. And at the time when this article was written, so about a year ago, she had basically Tesla stock that was worth $600 million. Not actual stock, but options. Very similar. So she has an incredible amount of money locked in Tesla. It's in her best interest, absolutely in her best interest, to make sure that these options, which she will be able to exercise later, are worth as much money as possible. When she sees Elon at Twitter, possibly not working at Tesla, you know she's going to be livid with Elon. There's no way she's not giving him any pressure, because literally a lot of her net worth is still in Tesla. Because if Tesla stock drops down to, keeps dropping like this, that means these options are not going to be worth much. So look, when someone says that Robin has been selling all of her Tesla stock, it looks really bad that she only has 5,000 shares, this is before the split. So after the split at current prices, that's roughly in the 2 million-ish kind of range. It looks bad. Certainly, when your net worth is over $500 million, this looks absolutely terrible. But when you take into consideration these stock options that she holds, a lot of her net worth is actually in Tesla. And Robin has been on the board since August 2014. I like to judge people based on their results, and let's see what results has she produced. I mean, since then, Tesla did what? Went up 644%. Seems pretty good to me. So I would say that this tweet right here that Leo retweeted, it just simply does not have the full picture. On the surface, it looks very bad, and then you look deeper, and it's like, oh, it's fine. So I am dollar cost averaging and buying more Tesla stock, and these are 48 reasons why I only own Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. My name is Matt Postis. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.